Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldus and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
Now said that that coaching staff there has really made it.
Hey everybody, Zach here for another Friday Night Flies. This week I got a quick and dirty one for you. It's just at home on still waters as it is on the rivers. This is the Vampire Leech. This is a deadly pattern for interior rainbow trout in the lakes around there, and pretty killer coho fly as well. I'm sure if you tied it up in the right colors, even for cutthroat. So it's pretty versatile. And deadly, like I said. So it's kind of fun. There's a couple of different color variations you can do. But yeah, there's definitely one that you want to have in your box. So let's get to it. Like I said, it's not too long of a pattern. It goes together quite quick. I tie it in two variations. This is the black with the purple tail. I do purple with a black tail, obviously. I change the colors of the beads as well. Experiment, play around with this one. It's a pretty fun one, and like I said, it just catches fish. So in the vise, I've got a mustad. I think it's a 3 or 4XL streamer hook in a size 8. This is going to be the trout version, obviously. I'll probably bump it up to a size 6 or 4 for coho. The bead, I can't remember what size it is. Give me a sec here. What is it? That is a, I believe that's a 1/8 bead. 1/8 bead in chartreuse from our friends over at Tasty Tackle. We started carrying some of their beads. They're wicked colors, tough to beat. We got them at the shop, so pop on into Pacific Angler when you're in town. For thread, I got some 140 Danville, so a little heavier than what I would normally use for trout flies. I just find I really like to crank down on the chenille on this fly, so it doesn't go anywhere. It's kind of the key. I'm also using a pair of these kind of oil slicky scissors. The reason I'm using these colors, they've got a harder edge than your normal scissors, so they're better for cutting synthetics. Pop on into Pacific. So the polar chenille is a pretty tough material. It chews through scissors quite quickly, so I like to prolong my nice ones as long as possible, and I use the other types of scissors as well. So for the tail, we're going to use some black rabbit strip. What I like to do is I like to have the hide facing away from me, and I kind of section off a clump of fur, and I pull it all close together, and I trim it as close to the hide as I can. And now I got a little clump of rabbit fur here. I'm going to make this roughly the length of the body, the hook shank length. I'm just going to tie that in with a few tight wraps at the back. I'm going to come once underneath just to help it from prevent it from fouling. And it's not too important to have a super smooth body, as we're going to cover this up with chenille, but just for my OCD and what I like, I just come in there and give it a good little wrap to really secure that all in place. I don't worry if there's a little bit sticking up at all. Like I said, this fly goes together pretty quick. It's really only two materials in a bead. This is going to be the purple and black version, so I've got some purple chenille, polar chenille. This is the large size. There is other sizes. I find I only ever buy the large, and then I trim it as I need. You could definitely do this with a medium size polar chenille. I find you don't get the random lengths of material though that you do when you trim the large stuff. So I find this has a little better movement than if you went with the medium stuff. So I just tie that in. Again, it doesn't really matter if there's little clumps and stuff. Not the end of the world. It's all going to get covered up. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this forward. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to pull all the fibers back. Try not to get too many trapped. I got a little trick here if stuff does get trapped, so it's not the end of the world. Like I said, play around with bead colors. You can do the same color combinations with a pink bead, orange bead, chartreuse in this case, blue, purple, red, you name it. Gives it kind of an egg-sucking leech kind of style. Like I said, this will be great for sea-run cutthroat. Be great for coho in season. Great for the interior trout. Kind of tough to beat. Pretty versatile pattern. I'm going to get one more here, right at the bead. I'm going to give a couple nice snug wraps. Like I said, I'm using 140 denier thread, so it's quite strong. It's the same kind of thread I'm using on my bonefish flies at the moment. 2 wraps, lock it down, couple in right in behind the bead. You kind of feel your thread slot in inside the bead there. Come with my scissors, trim the extra away, and just give it a few more wraps just to really lock everything in place. And I don't head cement this fly, so I'm going to go right into a whip finish, 5 or 6 turns, seat the knot, and right into another one. And that way, she ain't going anywhere. To help kind of brush this monstrosity out, I'm just going to take some Velcro. Just kind of get it so it's kind of a full 360. You want kind of a crazy ball here. And I'm going to come in with my scissors. And this can be quite messy. One little thing I'm going to show you guys here that I've picked up recently is this magnetic Wastebasket. This thing is an absolute game changer when it comes to tying. Keeps your desk immaculate. It's kind of crazy. So it's just got a little attachment on my vise. You can't really see it there. Pops in there. It's in place. Keeps things nice and tidy. If you're looking for something like this, I do have some coming into the shop this Wednesday. So get them before they're gone. The first batch sold out right away. So get them while they're hot. I can always order them more. Give us a call at the shop. We can special order them. So now I'm just going to trim this stuff. It's a little unruly. It's kind of all over the place. So I like to trim it just a little bit longer than where the hook point is. I'm going to do that on the top as well. Doesn't have to be exact. I kind of prefer the random lengths of everything. Just keep going. Come on this side. That's where rotary vise comes in handy. Kind of trim the front a little bit more on a taper. You're probably thinking, what the hell is going on here? Kind of brush that out a bit. It's kind of like trimming deer hair. You can go absolutely crazy with it. I find, don't go too nuts. I'm going to call it there, I think. We'll see. What I'm going to do now, it helps to kind of have a little dish of water next to your desk, but I'm just going to wet my fingers. I'm going to twist my fingers as I do this, and you're going to kind of get that rough shape. That turned out pretty darn good. This is where I come in. If there's any crazy ones that are really bothering me, I'll try to trim them out of the way. But when this fly is in the water, it's got a lot of movement with all the random lengths. Nothing's the exact same. And it kind of pulses and swims really, really well. There you have it. The Vampire Leech. Definitely one you want to have in your box this spring, throughout the summer, and into the fall. Right on. We'll catch you guys next week.